In the last video, I showed you how to interface Caliso Temps with a Fluke dry block and a Super DAC that were connected to our computer using USB to RS-232 cables. So now we see the data running, the block and the DAC. We've selected our channels that we need, and we'll go into the data logger. There are the channels coming in real time. We can select our set point and reference channel. We can also, if need be, select individually the decimal places that we want the channels to be displayed to, or we can accept the defaults that we've previously selected. So here we are, just to demonstrate changing some of the decimal values that will be used. So we can now move to our test setup tab, where we can get everything in place to start the run. Most importantly, of course, with the number of set points that you need to have. Scroll along that and that will be adjusted for you. And we've chosen 4, so we'll enter our 4 low temperature values. Always important to calibrate over the range that you intend to use the device. Never extrapolate, always interpolate. So there we are, we're entering the values. And once we've done that, we need to adjust our stability criterion. These are the spread tolerance and the offset tolerance. The first one, the spread tolerance, tells the software to accept stability when the average of the points that you've selected is within a certain band, and also that average is within a certain number of degrees C of the permitted set point. That's the offset tolerance. We can change the logging values, how many points we need to record before stability and how many points after stability, and the data logging interval. We can also, if the reference channel requires any form of correction, we can enter the values that are needed there. So we can either do a simple regression correction, or we can put ITS 90 values in, correction thermocouples. We can also change, there we are, the default decimal places, and then we start our test. Caliso Temps always reminds you to make sure everything's connected. And now it's going to ask you to specify a name for the data block for the test. Each file name that we create will begin with that data block name so that you can see that they're all associated with that same test. Click OK and the software will begin the test. And if you look, the set point has now gone from 25 to 30, which is our first set point. So we're now moving along the tabs as the test itself is in progress. And basically you can now walk away, have a cup of coffee, do some other work, wherever you need to be, because the software is looking after itself. It'll finish the test run and park the heat source back at its preset value if you've selected that option. So data's coming in, everything's running along nicely. We're logging at a 15-second interval, so it's going to record the interface, the data logger interface, every 15 seconds, and using that it's going to work out whether the results are stable. That stability is based on the reference channel. So as soon as the reference channel becomes stable, we assume that the test is stable. So here's the data coming in, as we said, being recorded. Each line will be added at the end of the elapsed 15-second period. There are the data files that we're creating. We can also have a look at a trend graph that runs during the course of the test. We can set the trace line colors individually for each one, so we'll make that one a red line, and we'll make the other block channel a blue line, and we'll leave the unit under test channels as black. So there we are, it's all being done for you. we just change the graph range just to make the lines a little bit clearer. So there we are. As I say, everything's now being done for you. You can sit back and relax. Let Caliso Temps do all the hard work, and when it's done, we'll just create some calculations and make a calibration certificate for each of the channels. If you look towards the bottom of the screen, you'll see a set of tabs. Each of those is one of the channels that we're recording. So the next job is to generate the data.